Hi everyone, my name is Colleen. I'm the Adult Services Librarian here at Shelby County Public Library, and I thought it'd be nice to do some book talks with you guys while we're under quarantine. I'll recommend a couple of titles that you can find in the Evergreen system on the Libby app, and they'll be around a little theme. So for this first theme, I thought I would focus on books about solitariness, being by yourself. It can feel a little bit isolating right now, but we can find that reading about it, either through nonfiction or fiction, can really help us kind of cope with what we're going through right now. And so the first book I want to talk about, I actually checked it out in physical form from the library before we closed, and it is The Stranger in the Woods by Michael Finkel. This is a nonfiction book about the true story of a man, his name was Christopher Knight, who in the mid-80s, when he was 20, decided to walk off his factory job, drive upstate to northern Maine, and live in the woods there for almost 30 years. It really did happen. It was kind of crazy, but very interesting. This book talks about the story of Christopher, how he managed to survive for almost 30 years out in the Maine wilderness, including the Maine winters, and also kind of looks at different types of hermits and people who lived solitary lives throughout history, like religious monks, for instance. It was pretty interesting. It's only about 200 pages, so it's a pretty quick read. And like I said, you can find it in ebook form on Libby, so you don't have to go to the library to check it out. The next book I want to talk about is a fiction book. It's by Otesha Moshfegh, and it is called My Year of Rest and Relaxation. It takes place in the year 2000 in New York City, and our nameless narrator is in her mid-20s, feeling a little bit driftless from the death of her parents, and decides to restart her life by hibernating for a year. It sounds like it's not going to be that interesting, but it was pretty good. The character of the nameless narrator actually has a very unique voice and is a very interesting character. Otesha Moshfegh is really known for writing some really weird, kind of strange characters, and it definitely shows in this book. So, I recommend it as well. My last book is a nonfiction book, and it is a classic, and books about being by yourself, and it is Walden by Henry David Thoreau. If you haven't read this classic of American literature, now is a great time to do it. This is about Thoreau's time living in a cabin on Walden Pond by himself, and him kind of observing and talking about his different thoughts on nature and what it means to be a person and living by yourself. It's really interesting and a great time to catch up on it if you haven't read it. And like I mentioned, all of these are available on ebook on Libby. Libby is an app from Overdrive where you can download ebooks and e-audiobooks every month for free. You can check out up to 10 a month, and they're for the standard 2 weeks. Once you're done, you can return them, or Libby will return it for you. And there's no fines or fees related to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my first book talk, and I will see you guys next time when I talk about something completely different. Books in different fantasy lands. Bye.